Hi, I'm Xenia and I'm on a mission to fix bloating and constipation for everyone. This video is for the woman who has tried everything and eats healthier than anybody else she knows. You've cut gluten, dairy, sugar, soy, eggs, corn, nightshades. You've tried all the elimination diets and you still bloat no matter what you eat. And the weirdest part is that you get more bloated from healthy foods than you do from junk food. And you're starting to think that you're just broken, your gut just can't handle food, and this is just how it's gonna be for the rest of your life. I need you to hear this. You are not broken, and it is not the food. There's some dysfunction going on in your gut that just nobody has investigated yet and figured out and fixed for you. So let me break down here what it could be. So number one, it can be impaired motility, which means your gut isn't really moving stuff along. Your digestive tract has a built-in cleaning system. It's called the Migrating Motor Complex. It's a wave of muscle contractions that happen throughout your digestive tract when there's no food in there. So it takes about 3 to 4 hours after your last bite of food for it to switch on and push stuff through. Your MMC can get impaired from infections, medications, chronic stress, underactive thyroid, nerve damage, or even environmental toxins that are overloading your gut. And then because it's not pushing stuff along, bacteria accumulate, fermentation starts to occur, gas starts to build up because of that. Your DAO enzyme production capacity decreases, which creates histamine reactions. And so you start to bloat no matter what you eat. And actually the healthy food like vegetables and fruits that have fiber bloat you even more because all this fiber is sitting around and fermenting in your gut and creating more gas. And this is why even eating very healthy food doesn't help, because it still sits there and ferments. It's not about the cargo that you're loading, it's about the fact that the conveyor belt is broken. So this impaired motility often leads to reason number 2, which is SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. This is when bacteria build up in your small intestine. They should largely be present in your colon, and when they've colonized your small intestine, any food that arrives there, they start to ferment it and produce a lot of gas, which creates a lot of bloating. And each meal, no matter what it is, adds more fuel to this bacteria. A low FODMAP diet can help temporarily because it doesn't give those bacteria the fermentable products they need to make that gas, but ultimately it doesn't address the bacteria itself that's present there. And it doesn't fix the motility. So long term, it's really not beneficial because it reduces the good populations that you have in your colon as well. Number 3 is Candida, which is a yeast that is normally present within our gut and we want it, but it is opportunistic, so it can overgrow when we have an underpopulation of good bacteria and it fills their spaces. It produces gas during fermentation. It produces also acetaldehyde, which is a toxin that causes bloating, brain fog, nausea, and fatigue. So if those sound familiar, Candida could be a cause. But the real issue is the biofilm. Candida and other pathogenic residents like to create a biofilm around themselves as a protective layer, which shields them from supplements and antimicrobials and helps them survive. And as long as that biofilm is intact, those pathogens are essentially untouchable. This is why a lot of women cycle through a lot of different protocols that help a little bit, but not in the long run, because that biofilm keeps protecting those pathogens. If you bloat regardless of food and have brain fog, recurrent UTIs, sugar cravings, and any fungal issues on your skin, Candida can be one of your root causes. Reason number 4 is low stomach acid and insufficient bile. Now, this one might seem a little bit counterintuitive, but your bloating can be coming not from your intestine, but something that didn't happen in your stomach. So if you don't have enough stomach acid to pre-digest the food before it arrives to your small intestine, it arrives too large and the small intestine can't digest that in the way that it should, and it starts to sit around and ferment, and then it gets to your colon where it putrefies and creates a lot of gas and bloating. And the smelliest gas comes from proteins that putrefy. And low stomach acid is super common with women, by the way, especially ones that are under chronic stress. And when bile is insufficient from liver congestion, gallbladder removal, estrogen dominance, or years of low-fat dieting, fats aren't digested and they also ferment and they produce smelling gas. And that gas creates bloating and often a very distinctive foul smell. So if you get really bloated from a protein or fat heavy meal and you feel like the food just sits there. And also if you notice a lot of fat in your stool, meaning it's really difficult to flush or wipe, you need to wipe a lot and your poop is very sticky, then that's often a bile or stomach acid insufficiency presenting itself. Reason number 5 is nervous system dysregulation. Your enteric nervous system, which is the nervous system that lives in your gut, contains over 500 million neurons. It controls peristalsis, secretions, blood flow, and the immune function in your gut. It's regulated by the vagus nerve, which connects your brain to your gut. And when you're in chronic sympathetic mode, meaning you're in fight or flight, you're in a survival mode, the vagus nerve is suppressed. So your gut is literally offline. It's disconnected from your brain. And to survive, your body shuts off its non-essential functions. Digestion is considered one of those by your brain. So your acid production drops, enzymes drop, motility slows down, bile flow stalls, and over time your mucosal barrier weakens. And in this state, every food becomes the problem, because the problem isn't the food, it's the fact that your nervous system has literally slowed or shut off your digestive process. And this is why for a lot of women, their bloating gets worse when they're stressed. It's not psychosomatic, it's neurological, because your stress literally slows down your digestion. So what do? Step 1 is stop restricting more foods, because the more foods you restrict, the more foods down the line you're gonna have to reintroduce. And the less fuel we have for the microbiome, the more it gets depleted. Long term, that just creates more work for us, even if it's helping your symptoms a little bit today. Secondly, let's address your nervous system. So take 3 deep breaths before each meal just to switch into your parasympathetic state. Do some cold water splashing on your face in the morning to activate your vagal tone, some gargling, some humming. Go for a walk for 10 minutes after your meal, or move your body around just for 10 minutes after every time you eat. This alone could improve digestion by up to 30% for most women. Third, support your upstream digestion. So take some apple cider vinegar before your meals. Also, you can take some tudka or some ox bile to support bile flow if that's an issue for you. 125 to 250 milligrams per day. Chew your food thoroughly, like really make it mush, pulp before you swallow it. And try to not scroll or do something or work while you're eating. Just try to be present in the moment while you're eating. Fourth is investigate. Figure out what it is that's throwing your digestion out of whack. So do a comprehensive stool test like a GI map, a Dutch test to investigate your hormones and your cortisol dysregulation. Figure out what's going on in there. Is there a pathogen? Is there dysbiosis? What do you need to do for your gut specifically to rebuild your terrain? Because these tests turn the I bloat from everything into an actual plan into what to do to heal your gut specifically. And fifth is support motility. So 4 to 5-hour breaks between each meal, no snacking, 3 main meals. Take some ginger as a prokinetic in between, 1,000 milligrams per day. You can split it into 2 or 3, or just sip on ginger tea. And then take magnesium glycinate before bed, 300 to 400 milligrams. Your bloating has a cause, and that cause is findable. I'm doing a lengthy series about all the possible root causes of gut dysfunction, so subscribe if you want to learn more on that. And if you're just ready to order labs and figure out what the hell is causing your gut dysfunction, I dropped a link below in the description to book a free discovery call with me and figure out if I'm the right person to help you on that journey. See you on the next one.